Welcome back to part 3. We will start in with round 31 using color C. So our first stitch is a front post single crochet around this puff stitch. So we want to insert our hook behind the puff stitch, kind of close to the top of the stitch. Pull the yarn through and yarn over and pull through both loops for our front post single crochet. Chain 2. Then we will single crochet in between the first and the second V-stitch from round 30. Chain 2, single crochet between the next 2 V-stitches, chain 2, and single crochet between the last V-stitch and that single crochet. Then we want to make a front post single crochet around this single crochet from round 29. So to do the front post, you might need to wiggle your stitches just a little bit. You go around the back, pull that yarn through, and make that front post single crochet there. And then we single crochet between the single crochet and the next V-stitch. Chain 2, single crochet between the V-stitches, chain 2, single crochet between the V-stitches, chain 2. We're back at our puff stitch, so we'll repeat that sequence again, inserting the loop behind the puff stitch for a front post single crochet, chain 2, single crochet between the V-stitches, chain 2, single crochet between the V-stitches, chain 2, single crochet between this last V-stitch and the next single crochet. Front post single crochet around this one, and single between the single crochet and the V-stitch. Chain 2, single crochet between the V-stitches, chain 2, in between those V-stitches, chain 2, and we're back at our puff stitch for that front post single crochet. So you can continue working your way around, and I'll see you back in a couple minutes. I am ready for my last few stitches here. Just chain 2 and finish up this round, inserting those single crochet between the V-stitches, and we can go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the stop, join with a slip stitch to the top of our front post single crochet. Mine was a bit tricky there. And fasten off. So you may want to just double check on the back side of your work that you have not worked into these chain 6 loops at all. They're all free, so you can just double check that. And then we'll be ready for round 32. Round 32, we will start with, or we're using color E. We have a special stitch called the S picot. Sometimes I call it a picot. I believe the correct pronunciation is picot. We will be doing it by making a single crochet, a chain 3, then the finishing is a little bit different than maybe what you're familiar with a picot, so we'll show you that. We're going to start by working in these V stitches that we made in round 30. So in that first V stitch of the arc, we'll insert hook in the chain 1 space, pull the loop through, and make a single crochet. And we want to make sure that we're working in front of those chain 2 spaces from round 31. So after our single crochet, we chain 3, insert hook in the post of that single crochet through both the front and the back post. So you now have the 2 loops on the hook. Pull the yarn through and complete a single crochet. And that's the S picot, or the side finishing picot. We'll do that in the next 2 V-stitches as well. So we make a single crochet in that chain 1 space of the V-stitch, chain 3, insert hook in the post through the front and the back, pull the yarn through and complete a single crochet. And one more time in that 3rd V-stitch in front of the puff, single crochet, chain 3, insert in the post, and complete the single crochet. I didn't get through both of the post stitches, so the front and the back, there we go, and complete the single crochet. The next stitch, we're going to work around this front post single crochet. We'll make another front post single crochet as the starting stitch of our S picot. Chain 3, and again go through the posts. So there's the 2 loops on your hook, pull through and complete the single crochet. 3 more in the next 3 V-stitches. And the last one of that set of 3, 2, 3, going through those posts. So we should have 7 of those picots. 1, 2, 3 in the first V-stitches, 1 at the puff, and 3 more in the next V-stitches. And then we're back at another front post single crochet. This time it's just the regular single crochet to start, chain 3, and finish off with that single crochet in the side posts. So that's our repeat. So we will continue doing 3 more in the V-stitches, 1 around the puff. Remember, this one is the only one we use the front post single. 3 more in the next V-stitches, and 1 in that last one there. So I'll show you one more of the repeat. And in that 3rd V-stitch, and then front post single around the front post single at the puff, and then back in the last 3 V-stitches. And then in this front post single here, as the last S picot of our repeat. We'll continue in that pattern around. We should have 128 stitches around. If we have that, we can go ahead and join with a slip stitch to our starting single crochet and fasten off. Round 32 complete. So for round 33, we will use color B. We are going to be working into round 31. So we might need to fold over our previous round and work into, we're not going to use the chain 2 spaces, but we'll be working into these single crochets that we did. I'm working today in with very hot weather, so you may hear my air conditioner in the background keeping me cool, but hopefully that's not too loud for you. So we want to look at our V stitches that we did in round 30. And if you remember, we made these single crochets in between the V stitches. We're going to start in the single crochet between the first and the second V stitch. So that's this single crochet right here, and we're starting with a double crochet in the single crochet between starting with a double crochet in the single crochet between the first 2 V stitches. Chain 2, double crochet in the next single crochet, chain 2. The next one we're working into is the front post single crochet that is around that puff stitch. So we're going to do 2. So we'll do a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2 twice in that same stitch. Okay, so it's almost like a V in the stitch by the puff stitch. Then working in the next single crochet, double crochet, chain 2, now we're going to make a double crochet 2 together. We will be using the next single crochet, skipping that other front post single crochet and working into the next single crochet there. So yarn over, insert into that first single crochet, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and we're going to leave these 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, skip that front post single, and working into the next single crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, then we'll yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. Then we chain 2 and do that again. So double crochet in that next single, chain 2, double crochet in the next, chain 2, and then working into the front post single by the puff stitch, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into that same stitch, chain 2, double crochet into the next single, and into the next single. Then we will do the double crochet 2 together. So starting in that next single crochet, pulling up your loop, leaving 2 loops on the hook, skipping the front post single, and working into the next single, and then pull through all 3 loops. So we'll continue working our way around in that pattern and see you at the end. So I'm just finishing up my round here, doing my final double crochet, chain 2, and then ending with that DC2 together. And then you should have a total of 96 double crochet, 112 chain 2 spaces, and 16 double crochet 2 together. If that is correct, go ahead and join to our first double crochet and fasten off. So for round 34, we are using color A again. We're going to start in any second chain 2 space after the DC 2 together. So we have right here is my double crochet 2 together. And we're going to start not in the first chain 2 space, but in the second chain 2 space. 2 single crochet. And then we will skip the double crochet and do 3 single crochets in that next chain 2 space. 3 times. 1, 2, oops, 3. So we should have 2 single crochet there, 3, 3, and 3 single crochet. 2 single crochet in the next chain 2 space. We're going to skip both the double crochet and the chain 2 space. We want to do the tip puff 3 in the DC2 together. So for the tip puff, we yarn over to make a puff stitch, insert our hook in the top of the DC2 together, pull the yarn through, lift it up a little bit longer. We'll do that 3 times. So it was 1 yarn over, 2, and 3. Now we want to pull through all of those loops except for the last one. So we have 2 loops left on our hook, yarn over, and pull through both of them. So that's the puff stitch tip on the top. We will chain 2, and in the same stitch, do the same thing. So yarn over, pull the loop up 3 times, pull through all loops except the last one, yarn over, pull through 2, and chain 2. And the last puff in the same stitch. So we have 3 of these tip puff stitches in that double crochet 2 together. We'll skip the chain 2 space beside it and the double crochet, do 2 single crochets in the next chain space, and then 3 single crochets in the next 3 chain 2 spaces. And then 2 in that next one. And again, skipping the double crochet in the chain 2 space, we'll do those 3 tip puff stitches in the top of the double crochet 2 together with chain 2 in between. And we'll continue to make those tip puff stitch clusters and single crochets all the way around. I'm ready for my final tip puff cluster in that DC2 together. Okay, and so we should have 16 of these group of 3 tip puff stitches with 13 single crochets in between each of them. I think it's a total of 320 stitches, the pattern says. So when we've finished that, we may go ahead, join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch, and fasten off. Round 35, we have a couple of interesting stitches that we will be working on with this round. We start off with the tip cluster 3 double crochet. So we're going to start in the space between the last group of 2 single crochet and that first tip cluster there. So in that space there, we will make a double crochet tip cluster. So for the double crochet tip cluster, I've yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and we'll leave those 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So we should have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. So now we have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through those 2 for our tip 3 double crochet cluster. So after we've completed the 3 double crochet tip cluster, we chain 3, and then we'll yarn over, and we're going to do another tip cluster 3 double crochet in the next chain 2 space. So we're skipping this puff stitch, and we'll do another 3 double crochet tip cluster. So once we have our 4 loops on the hook, remember we yarn over, pull through 3, then yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 3 again. So now we are asked to make the triple picot. So 3 picots in 1 stitch. The stitch we will be working into is this 3rd chain that we just completed. So from here we chain 3, insert our hook into that 3rd chain, or it will be the 4th chain from the hook, making sure we are under 2 loops of the chain. Pull the yarn through and through the loop on the hook. Chain 3 again, insert into that same chain, slip stitch there, and one final time, 1, 2, 3, insert into that same chain and pull through the triple picot. Chain 3, and we will do another 3 double crochet tip cluster in between the 2nd and 3rd of those tip puff stitches we did last round. Pull through 3, then pull through 2, chain 3, and one more 3 double crochet tip cluster in between this last puff cluster and the single crochets. And there we have this beautiful design that we have created with our 3 double crochet tip clusters, chain 3 in between, and the triple picot at the top. So from there we chain 3 again. We're going to skip 6 single crochets. So 2 here, 3 there, and then the first one in the 2nd set of 3 single crochets. Slip stitch in the next one, so it'll be the middle single crochet of that middle group of 3. Slip stitch. In that same single crochet, we're going to work another triple picot. So chain 3, slip stitch into that same single crochet, chain 3 again, slip stitch into that same single crochet, and one last time, chain 3, and slip stitch into that same single crochet. So the triple picot in that middle single crochet of the middle group of 3. Okay, so after we have done this triple picot in that single crochet, chain 3, we make a 3 double crochet tip cluster in the space between the 2 single crochet and that puff stitch. So we have skipped 6 after that triple picot. Chain 3, work another 3 double crochet tip cluster, and this time we're not going to do the triple picot at the tip. We're just going to make another chain 3 and then do the 3 double crochet tip cluster. Chain 3, and then work our final tip cluster in between the last puff stitch and the single crochet. Chain 3, skip the 6 single crochet and slip stitch into that middle single crochet, and then we would do the triple picot again. So we'll continue to work our way around. The trick is to remember every other time of these tip clusters you add that triple picot in the middle. So at the end we should have 8 of those triple picot in the group here, but still doing the triple picot in between each of those clusters. So you can work your way around. I'll see you at the end, and good luck. When you have made your way all the way around, I recommend double or triple checking that we have a group of these tip clusters, a plain group, and then a group with the triple picot, that we alternate those all the way around. So you should have 8 groups with the triple picot. If you've checked that and it is all correct, then let's go ahead and join to our first 3 double crochet tip cluster with a slip stitch and fasten off. And well done. Round 36. Let's take color B and find our starting place. We are going to start working around the first tip cluster of any of these groups that have that middle picot section. Starting with the front post half double crochet, so yarn over, insert hook around that first tip cluster, and finish the front post half double crochet. 5 double crochet in the chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over to make a front post double crochet around that second tip cluster and chain 1. We'll skip the chain 3 space, the picot cluster, and the next chain 3 space, and do a front post double crochet around that third tip cluster. 5 double crochets in that chain 3 space. And then a front post half double crochet around that final tip cluster. We're going to skip this next chain 3 space. We're going to work down on round 33 and this first double crochet of the 2 that are made in that same spot. So yarn over twice to make a front post treble around that first double crochet down on round 33. Then chain 3. The next stitch is a single crochet, but we need to watch the placement very carefully. We are going to work from behind this picot cluster into round 34. We want to insert hook from the back underneath that chain of that middle picot and into that same stitch as a picot to make a single crochet. So you can see if I fold it forward how I have my single crochet in the same stitch that picot is worked. When I fold it back, you can see how it peeks through like that. Chain 3 and another front post treble around that second double crochet on round 33. Okay, then we have another group of tip clusters. We're going to work front post half double crochet around the first tip cluster, 3 half double crochet in that chain 3 space. Another front post half double crochet around the second tip cluster, and then 3 single crochets in that middle section. Front post half double crochet around the third cluster, 3 half double crochet in the chain 3 space, and end with another front post half around that final tip cluster. Then we will work those front post treble again around the double crochet, so around that first double crochet of round 33, front post treble, chain 3, and again we'll work that single crochet in the center of the picot, going from behind and into that same stitch to work a single crochet, chain 3, front post treble around that next double crochet. And that is our repeat. So I'll do that one more time. You can watch along and then we'll finish up this round. My ends out of the way. Front post half double crochet, 5 double crochets, and a front post double, chain 1, skipping over to the next tip cluster, front post double, 5 double crochet in the chain 3 space. Front post half double crochet, front post treble down on round 33 around that first double crochet, chain 3, sneaking in the picot, make a single crochet in that same stitch, chain 3, and another front post treble. Front post half on that tip cluster, 3 half double crochets, front post half, and 3 singles. Front post half, 3 half double crochets, and another front post half double crochet. Treble crochet around that double, chain 3, single crochet into the same stitch as the picot, chain 3, ending with a front post double, front post treble around the double crochet. And I'll see you back in a little bit. Welcome back. How did you do? That's a bit of a tricky round. I'm ready to finish off the round here, so I just need to do my final single crochet through the picot, chain 3, and the last front post treble around that second double crochet, and then join to that first front post half double crochet to complete the round. And let's fasten off. Phew, we did it. It's probably a good idea to go around and just double check that we have the alternating groups here with those 5 double crochets on either side of the picot, the trebles with that single crochet peeking through the picot there, then this group of tip clusters with just half double crochets and 3 single crochets in the middle, and again the trebles there, and then back to the beginning. So well done. Round 37. We will be using color A for this round. We will be working the stitches to slightly change our shape. So going from a circle shape by the end of this round, we are planning to have an octagon, an 8-sided shape. So we'll need to watch carefully for our stitch placement as we make the shape change. So starting with color A, we want to start by working in that chain 1 space we did between the 2 front post double crochets in front of that picot section. However, we're going to fold the picot over top and work that chain 1 space from behind. So we're going to start with a treble crochet in that chain 1 space, chain 2, and make a second treble crochet in that same space. So when we fold the picot back up, that treble, those 2 trebles are behind the picot. We'll skip the front post double crochet. We're going to double crochet in that first of the group of 5 double crochets, half double crochet in the next, and single crochet in the next 3 double crochets. We will skip the front post half and the front post treble. And then we're going to work a treble crochet around both of the chain 3 spaces. So the chain 3 space from round 36 and the chain 3 space from round 35. So treble crochet around both of those chain 3s. We want to do another treble crochet, but this time just around the chain 3 from round 35. And then back into round 36, that single crochet we made behind the picot, we're going to make a double crochet in there. Then another treble in the chain 3 space, but the one from round 35. And then a treble around both of those chain 3 spaces from 35 and 36. So we have 2 trebles. The first one's around both of the chain 3 spaces. The second one just around the chain 3 space of round 35. Double crochet in the single crochet behind the picot, treble crochet just around the round 35 chain 3, and then a treble around both of those chain 3 spaces. So we're going to skip the front post treble that comes after that and the front post half. Double crochet in that first half of the group of 3. Half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. and then 6 single crochets. So single crochet in the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then a double crochet in that front post, half double crochet. We're going to skip the front post treble, and then you might notice if you're following the pattern that it asks to repeat the section that's in the square brackets. So that's that set of trebles around this cluster. So remember, we do the first treble around both of those chain 3 spaces, and then the second treble just in the chain 3 space of round 35, the double crochet behind the picot, treble crochet in that round 35 chain 3 space, and then treble crochet around both of those spaces. Skip the front post treble and the front post half double crochet, as well as the first double crochet in that group of 5, single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Half double crochet in the next, which should be the last, the 5th double crochet in that group, and then double crochet in that front post double crochet. And then we're back to the beginning of that section that we started with. So we'll do that one more time together, working in this chain 1 space, but folding that picot over top to work it behind. We'll do a treble crochet, chain 2, and a treble crochet. Then we're going to skip the front post double and double crochet in that first double crochet of the group of 5. Half double crochet in the next, and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Skipping the front post half and the front post treble. We'll treble around both of those chain 3s, and then treble around just the round 35 chain 3. Double crochet behind into that single crochet, treble just in the round 35 chain 3, and treble around both. Skip the front post treble and the front post half. We'll double crochet in that first half double crochet of the group of 3, half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and single crochet in the next 6. Half double crochet in the next 2, and double crochet in that front post double crochet. Skipping that front post treble, you do the treble crochet around the chain 3 spaces, both of them, and the one in round 35 chain 3, the double crochet behind, treble around the 1, chain 3, treble around both, chain 3s, skip the front post treble, the front post double, and that first double crochet, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, half in the last double crochet of the group of 5, and then double crochet in that front post double crochet. So we'll continue to work that around. We should have 2 corners of these chain 2 corners of our octagon now, and I'll see you back after we have all 8 corners finished. How did you do? I see an octagon. Do you? The stitch counts now are going to be given between each of those 8 points. So you can double check that you have 10 trebles, 6 double crochet, 6 half double crochet, 12 single crochets for a total of 34 stitches plus that chain 2 space on each of the 8 sides. I'll finish up my last couple of stitches here, and then we can go ahead and join to that first treble crochet and fasten off to complete round 37. For our final round of part 3, let's take color D. This round is much easier. We just have to remember to count the number of stitches. So we're going to start in a chain 2 space behind those picots with a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Then we want to single crochet in the next 5 stitches. This first one can be a little bit hidden, so just be careful that you grab that first stitch after the chain 2 space. So single crochet in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we'll do 2 half double crochets and 4 double crochet. Two more half double crochets, then 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 8. 2 half doubles, 4 double, 2 more half double crochets, and 5 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which should take us right to that next chain 2 space. So we'll continue to work our way around there, making that edge nice and straight of our octagon. See you back in a few minutes. Okay, once you've made it around, check each side that you have 20 single crochets, 8 half doubles, 8 double crochets for a total of 36 stitches in between the chain 2s. If that is correct, we can join to that first single crochet and fasten off round 38. And congratulations, we have completed part 3. I'm always amazed how the designers can think of all these stitches to work together to create such a beautiful piece, but I'm so thankful for them. I can't wait to see you back for part 4 and learning a myriad of more stitches. See you later.